Hello, hello, my pottery lovers. We are over here at Potter's Peak today, and we are going to show you, I am going to show you how to make a square platter, like a square tray, a square baking dish. I don't know what to call it. I'm going to call it a square baking dish. I feel like you could put a really yummy green bean casserole in this dish, put it in your oven, and serve it to your mother-in-law without her judging you. So, that's what we're making today, a square dish so your mother-in-law can't judge you. So, first things first, because we're in a community studio, my biggest pet peeve in the whole world is cleaning off bats before you have to throw. So I have to clean on a clean bat. You just don't want those other little particles getting in your stuff, okay? So I'm just kind of cleaning this guy up, and I am going to tap my little piece of pottery over here, and I'm going to start throwing. So first things first, we don't want this to fly off. So we're just gonna kind of give it a little love tap and get our hands wet. And I have a messy situation because I've been throwing all day. I've got my earbuds in because it's the only way I can actually do stuff in the studio. And we're gonna just start centering. So as we're centering, remember our hands are wet. I like to wear gloves when I throw. Everybody's a little bit different. But when we're centering, look at my hand placement. Okay, my elbows are down. My left hand, which when you're watching this, it's actually on the right side, but my left hand is the one without any tattoos, and it is pushing. My right hand is the one that has my little tattoos, and it is pulling in. So I also keep a sponge in my right hand as I throw because I don't like to constantly dip my hands in water to try to stay consistent. So I like to just have that sponge. It is very, very damp. It's always clean and it's very damp, just to keep that water consistency in my hands at all times. And as we're going, I'm going up and then I'm pushing down. We are centering. So I always say make sure your hands are clean. So they're going to be dirty but clean all at the same time. So my hands are always touching because our hands are best friends, and we are using the pad of our left hand's thumb to actually push that top down and really make sure that everything is controlled and we're not getting little mushrooms, we're not getting little holes at the top. The way to keep it so you're not getting that little hole at the top is to keep your thumb up. On our left hand. Our thumb is really pushing, and if you push with your left thumb, then you won't have any of those issues. So now we're doing our karate chop into our hockey puck. This is going to be a thick hockey puck because we're making something a little bit bigger. So don't try to get it super small. We need that extra weight, okay? Because we're going to pull this out, and it's going to thin that bottom. So we need this to be a little bit more thick. It's more like a donut. I don't know what to call this, but she's thick. And now we are going to take our two fingers and we're going to check our thickness here. So pushing that in, getting our pot nice and open. We're going to take our wooden pin tool and we're going to check our thickness. Leave a little bit of room. We're opening this pretty heavy, so we want to make sure that it's not too thin. Okay, so now I'm going to pull this back directly towards me. Very, very evenly. Make sure that you stay consistent, and then we're going to compress. And while we're compressing, we are just going right past that middle and back. Right past that middle and back. I use a lot more pressure when I push in and then light pressure when you pull back. That saved me when I was learning because I was using the same amount of pressure there and back, and I was getting S-cracks, and I was not understanding why my pot was not turning out the way that I wanted it to. And I needed to really focus on how even is this pot actually. So pushing a little bit more pressure in, letting go a little bit lightly when you come back. Staying in a straight line. We're starting at that 3 o'clock and we're going into that middle like you're going to the 9 o'clock. And once you feel like you are good and set and the bottom of your floor is even, we are going to take our sponge, wrap it completely around that rim there. Using our left hand, we're going to take our thumb and push in, give us a little divot, and then we're going to take both of our hands and pull up. This is our first pull. Go slow. Don't try to do this fast. You will mess up. So slow and controlled, and then we're going to regroup our rim at that top. Get the water out by just holding it, kind of cleaning up your space, and then we can start on our first pull. congratulations, you guys made it this far. So if you made this and you did this or you're watching this, that part can be the hardest part. So now we are starting all the way at the bottom, giving us our little divot there and doing our first pull all the way to the top and letting go very slowly, regroup our rim. We're going to do that every single time. Start all the way at the bottom. Make sure you give yourself that little divot or else you're just running your hands up and down the side of your pot and you're not actually pulling. So push in, give yourself that little divot and pull all the way to the top. And then slowly letting go, regroup your rim. That part is very important. Regrouping our rim keeps our piece centered and together it's going to make it so your piece stays nice. Okay, we're going to keep doing that, starting at the bottom, all the way at the bottom, and we're going to pull up. I am going to start shaping this. I'm not going to shape this because I actually wanted to say an exact circle. So we're going to shape this when we trim it. And this is about as big as I want it. I'm not going to do too much after this. So stick with me. Let's trim this and attach handles and show you what it looks like. I'm kind of excited. You know what, I lied. Before we actually do that, I want to make sure this wall is straight, like perfectly straight, because it is going to be square. So I'm going to use my rib here and I'm going to use it as a guide it has a very straight side to it. And I'm going to use it as a guide to push my hand to make sure that it is a straight piece. So as we're going, making sure to hold that tool and you are in control this whole time. We're going to push our hand and get this to be an exact line. We want this to not have any little indents, no little weird little things. We want this to be perfectly straight up and down. So I am pushing my clay to make that happen. And you can really see the difference here. You can actually see that it is a lot more straight. And so when we trim this, it's going to be a lot easier. So we're going to use our knife tool and trim this up because we know that we're not going to need all this. Sometimes this is more tricky than what it looks like. I was struggling, so just enjoy my struggle here and get that nice and cleaned up. All right, let's trim this sucker. There is not much you need to do here. I have my Giffen grip and my little trimming tool here, and I'm just going to smooth this out. I made my floor pretty thin. I don't need to trim too much of it. I'm going to do like a little bit just to make it look all nice and swirly because I wanted it to have like this cute little swirly look. But other than that, I don't need to do too much to the bottom because it's not too thick and I just need to make sure that my sides are pretty even so I can straighten this out. My biggest issue when I was throwing this is that once I got to the trimming stage, it was already kind of dry. So make sure to have this leather hard because we are attaching handles and we are also squishing this, which I'm going to show you right here. To get this square, we need to squish it. It should be a lot easier than what my video makes this look because I waited too long and it was kind of dry and I was more scared that it was actually going to crack on me. So both my hands on both sides, and as you guys can see, remember, I waited too long. You shouldn't ever spray your pots, okay? Just do it when it's the right consistency. I'm spraying here because I had to wait and I'm crying on the inside because I really wanted that like beautiful squish video, but I don't have it. I have a aggressively squish video because I had to quite literally aggressively squish this. So I'm pushing and I'm pushing pretty hard because it's already pretty hard. And then I'm going to turn it and push the other side. And I'm just going to do this on both sides very lightly. I'm not trying to squish it completely because I'll just break it. If it is the right consistency, you can just squish this and it's done. You could even take 2 boards or 2 bats and squish the sides and it's going to be perfect. Like chef's kiss, beautiful, okay? Mine did not turn out like that because I had to wait too long. And we'll see if the handles even stick to this pot or if it's going to pop off and I will never have a finished result for you guys because I waited too long. But you guys still get the concept of how it's made, and that's really why I'm here. So I'm squishing those sides, and I'm making this square. Squish it, move it, spray it, squish it, move it, spray it. I'm really just trying to make this a cute little square pot. So by doing that, without it breaking, I need to constantly spray it because mine is too wet, or too dry, sorry. Too dry. and I'm squishing it little bits at a time. And I'm not going to edit this. I don't want to show you guys a clip of it. I want to show you guys how long it actually took me, because if you guys do have pots and you didn't get to it in that week and it is a little dry, you know that it's still possible, okay? You just have to take your time with it and make sure it doesn't crack. So take your time. I have a damp sponge near me and I'm just cleaning it and getting it to the point where I want it. Luckily, it did not break here, or else I would have just scrapped it and done a whole new video. But it still stuck to its guns and it stayed consistent, and I was able to put handles on it. So I'm going to show you guys the handle process, but I want to show you guys the pot first. So we have this little cute square dish, and I think it turned out cute. It's a good little square dish. So it's just so cute. It's a little casserole bean my mother-in-law won't hate me dish. So it makes me happy. Okay, now we're going to add handles. So I extruded my handles. There's lots of different ways to do this, but I like extruded handles for this purpose because then I can get the same consistency throughout the whole handle piece. And I like to build my handle before I actually put it on my pot. So I'm going to move my pot away, kind of set up my station a little bit, and then I'm going to build this handle. So I'm going to add a cute little folded design here. You guys make your handles look like whatever you want them to look like, okay? There's 500 million ways to make little cute attached handles. I really wanted these to look like my little ribbons. This is what I do for a lot of my handles. I just kind of fold them. I do both sides at once because then they are the same size. Don't try to do them separately. You guys will have so many issues, okay? And your pieces will be funky. This way you have two of the exact same little handles, and then you can put them on your pots. So I'm just going to smooth these out, make sure everything's connected. And I know they need to firm up a little bit, so I'm going to kind of see where I want them on my pot. I decided to go in the middle. Okay, if you're grabbing these out of the oven, I like to think about the actual use of this, okay? When I first was doing this, I stuck it to the top and I was like, yes, this is beautiful. And then I thought about it and I'm like, I don't like this. I want it to be in the middle. So really, you have the opportunity to move things around, and that's kind of nice, okay? At this point, you can kind of move things around. So I'm scoring the back side because that's what I'm attaching. And I'm going to make sure the pot is wet and straight. We want to make sure that we are at the angle that we actually want it. So as you guys can see, I put it on there and then I was like, no, I don't want that. I want it to be in the middle. So if you are a normal person, you would grab a ruler and actually measure how far down, but I did not do that. I decided to push this all on, make sure it's all sealed, and then use my finger to say, is this an inch down? I'm one of these days, have you guys seen the thing where people get like inches and centimeters and stuff tattooed on their finger? That's going to be my next tattoo. If you guys see it, don't ever judge me. Just know I'm using it, okay? Like, my fingers can't grow, and I need them to stay the same so I know exactly how much an inch is on my fingertips, okay? But here we are, and I'm just smoothing these. I know this is the placement I want of this one, so take your time here. Get this beautiful, because handles really do add so much flair, okay? They add so much to your pot. It's insane. They make your pot beautiful, and you want to take the time to make your piece beautiful. So I kind of squish it. I move it around. I make sure nothing is sharp, because if it's sharp, it's going to cut you later once you put glaze on it. And we just get it all nice and smooth and just gorgeous. And then we're going to do the other side once we feel confident that this guy isn't going to pop off. So let's do the other side. And I'm just going to add some music so you guys don't have to hear me talk the entire time throughout this whole video. Okay, the other side is done. I used my pretend finger to mark it, and then I'm going to use my chop to say, yes, ma'am, this is roast K-Levex. Okay, and I didn't like that, so I'm gonna fix it because my pot's dry. Remember, you guys, my pot is too dry, and it makes me so sad. So I have to fix it, I have to fill it, and then I have to do it again. Um, and yeah, that's just great sometimes. Sometimes life gets messy. It doesn't matter if you are a business owner, if you work, if you are a lawyer, if you are a, I don't know, maybe you work at Kmart. Does Kmart exist anymore? I don't know. Okay, I haven't seen a Kmart since I was a kid, but if it doesn't matter if you are doing pottery and life gets messy, you wait too long to trim things. It's just part of it. Life is there and life doesn't wait for you. It just takes hold of you. So sometimes your pots will be too dry. So you have to learn how to make things work when your pieces aren't perfect. And that was me today. So I'm making things work when my pieces aren't perfect, but they still can be beautiful once they're done. Now I'm going to cover these lightly with plastic until they're dry.